Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Congrats on Backrooms, the #1 movie in the world right now. Oh my gosh.
That's something.
Yeah, it is something. And I mean, I'm going to therapy now tomorrow, starting tomorrow after seeing it. Congratulations on it. How does it feel to have the #1 movie?
It's a little lost on me, I think, but it's pretty cool. I think. It's insane. It's been a mad rush finishing this thing. Like, we were crunching to finish it until just a couple weeks ago, and then instantly we're on a press tour, and then instantly it releases. So I think I've had about 3 days to process it at all.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but
so it's nuts.
Thank you for coming on the show. How old are you when you started work on this film?
On the film itself, technically, if you're including like extended pre-production, it would have been 16. So, and that's when I started like the YouTube web series and everything. So. It's a direct result of doing this work on YouTube that it, kind of spiraled into the views, got attention.
Talk to me about this, because it started on YouTube as it was it like a post on 4chan? What was it?
Yes, which I am not on.
No, you're not on there, but someone posted this, and it was a thing called Backrooms.
Yeah, so the nature of 4chan is that this was an anonymous caption that went along with a photo that no one could ID for the longest time until 2024. It appears to be some kind of, office space, something nebulous and very generic that I think a lot of people can find familiarity in. And, the text sets up this idea that just outside of reality kind of lurks this infinite megastructure. It's obviously a supernatural sort of fun concept to play with, but it's like if you fall out of reality, you'll end up there, this drab sort of mono-yellow drop ceiling hellscape that goes on in all directions.
Yeah, and then you started making shorts.
Yeah, so it was sort of, I think you could liken that, the way that worked online, to being sort of like an urban legend or an internet folktale sort of.
Yeah.
I think, we'll probably use the word creepypasta to describe it, but, it spread, and in my interpretation, I took like a sci-fi spin on it. I had been teaching myself VFX software for a few years, and so I did this found footage series of shorts set inside like my own take on what that concept could mean in like a sci-fi context, and people saw it, and somehow it spiraled out of control, and now there's a movie.
Yeah, but you mentioned something now, and I really have to ask you about this, because Rolling Stone says Backrooms is the carbonara of creepypasta cinema. Now, I mean, I'm old, but wow, did this make me feel old? I have no idea what this means. What is creepypasta?
Okay, well, I'm actually kind of with you on that.
Okay, good. Very good.
Yeah, no, creepypasta is I think I could try to, I guess, summarize it as there's this, notion of a thing called a copypasta, which is just a fun way of saying it's a piece of text that is copy and pasted a lot across the internet.
Oh, copy paste.
Like a blurb or like a little short story or something really easily digestible and something that spreads. And then a creepypasta is just that, except the context is creepy.
It's creepy and scary, yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's an okay definition.
I loved it. I thought it was so different. I thought it was so weird and cool, and I just don't know what I would do. Basically, this guy has like a furniture warehouse, like a Bob's Discount Furniture, whatever type of store, and he goes down to his basement and he sees this kind of. There's a back room that he didn't know that he had, or that was in the building. And he goes in it, and he goes in it a little further, and it's just empty space, and there's flickering lights, and you go, what? And then he can't kind of get out. And then something's chasing him. And then he's running, and goes to open the door, but he can't open the door. So he's like, what do you do? And what's chasing me? You don't know. And then there's like a hole in the wall, and he's like, but it's a slide going down to some other thing that you can't climb back up, but you're gonna get either killed or do. And he does that. It's the most frightening thing in the world. And by the way, who did the soundtrack?
I co-composed with Edo Van Bremen on the score.
Oh my gosh, buddy. Buddy, you did a great job.
Thank you.
That soundtrack is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
It's so scary.
Scoring, I mean, I've scored my own work online for years, and I think music production is probably, I would just as happily pursue that as a line of work, I think. It brings me a lot of joy, and I feel like a caveman banging rocks together, and that I don't actually have any formal training or any music theory. I just kind of using like FL Studio and random old VSTs with a ton of reverb and stuff. But
good for you. Don't learn. Whatever you're doing is working. It's great.
Don't touch it.
Don't look at anything. Don't even. Well, yeah. But the cast. Chiwetel Ejiofor is fantastic in this.
He is.
Who cast this as well?
This was Whitney Horton.
Okay,
who
great.
was our casting director on the project, and she did I think, needless to say,
you
great job.
It's fantastic. It's well done. Since you're, I would say, the leading expert on the Backrooms, I was hoping to see if maybe you can give me some advice in case I ever stumble into an alternate dimension. Does that sound okay?
Sure,
right.
sure.
So imagine you and I are trapped in the Backrooms.
Okay.
No, but the drone is much scarier than that music. It's like. It's
I
like,
know what one you're talking about.
yes, you know?
Yeah.
It's
That's
almost like
layout
a,
extrapolation, that track.
it's almost like a record going fast and then slowing, a warping, and then, oh my gosh, it's right. But anyways, that was good what you're doing.
That was like a pitch bend cello. That was an Omnisphere, I think.
All right. But now you're doing no music at all? That's even scarier. All right, question number 1. If you got stuck in the back rooms and only had 3 items to help you survive, what would they be?
Hydrogen bomb,
Let me write this down.
a really big magnet, a toaster.
Okay, thank you. Question number 2. If you had one person to help you escape the back rooms, who would you choose?
Musician Gary Wilson.
Questlove got that. Okay. All right. Question number 3.
Okay.
Since the back rooms change based on each person's memories, what would be the scariest thing to see in one of your rooms?
Complete nothing.
So not even.
Oh my
one.
God, that's so deep. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
You just did it to yourself. All right, here we go. Question number 4. If you got lost in the back rooms, what's your escape strategy? Run, hide, make friends?
Make peace with it. Don't give yourself hope.
Wow.
It's the wise thing to do, I think.
Make peace with it. Really?
And then you can give it a shot. But you know, look inwards.
Question number 5. Do you have any tips to avoid getting lost in the first place?
Never go into any buildings ever. Stay outside forever. Evacuate as soon as possible.
Okay,
Don't
very
let the
nice.
buildings eat.
That's a good answer. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Kane Parsons, that's well done. I want to show a clip. Here's a look at Kane Parsons' debut film, Backrooms.
Ashley, namaskar. Vishe Shanti Bhava. Salvete quicunque estis. Onam erga vos voluntatem habemus, et pacem per astra ferimus. Shalom.
Hartelijke groeten aan iedereen.
Herzliche Grüße an alle.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। हम ज़मीन के रहने वालों की तरफ से आपको खुश आमदीद कहते हैं।
Chân thật với các bạn lời chào thân hữu.
Sayın Türkçe bilen arkadaşlarımız, sabah şeriflerinize hayırlı olsun.
こんにちは。お元気ですか?
धरती के वासियों की ओर से नमस्कार ये खिताए हुई अनाउर अकनोइज़ोइट
Kane Parsons, everybody. Backrooms is in theaters now.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with a performance from Malcolm Todd. Stick around, everybody.